right, here we go. We're going to start off with looking at this little jig I made to run the 3/4 dados in the 2x2 railing, the bottom plate that's going to go around plywood. The plywood's 4-foot square with two angle cuts on it, octagon angles on the front. But I want the raw edge of the plywood to be encapsulated in the dado of a 2x2. And a 2x2 will also have an 1/8" dado on top to receive 1/8" plexiglass. It's going to be going on the front and the sides, but not the back. The back will be open. And other than that, the structure is going to be primarily of these 2x2s and the plexiglass. It's going to be very simple. Railing, and the top plate will be like a small 1x, probably a 1x1.5. It's a little dado for the plexiglass, mainly for the birds to be able to perch on top. It's more comfortable for their feet too. They don't like something too small, but something like that's good for them to grab onto. And the whole idea is to keep the seeds as they splash out within the confines of this plywood, and then they can feed up off the plywood. It's better for them feeding off the concrete or hard ground. It's soft, but that way I don't have any mess on my patio floor, and it'll serve that purpose. I've never seen one like this before, but I'm not saying mine's the only one, but keeps all the bird seed within their area to feed. And here is a picture of the plywood. I'm laying it out for the biscuits that I'm going to fasten it with, glue and biscuits, and then of course I'm going to screw it through the plywood into the 1x pine that you can see there running along the side of the bird feeder. That shiny part, vertical part, was where the old 1x went all the way up, and I attached the bird feeder to the 6x6 rafters under the patio. And that'll be replaced with a whole panel. It's going to go all the way up into between the rafters with the appropriate slope of the roof. And here it shows on the left side a 2x2 with the spacer, 1x just a spacer, and then the bird feeder. You'll see this all the way around. I'm laying out for the biscuits to be cut into plywood and the bird feeder. And here you see my verticals already going up on the plate. The 1/8" dado, they're cut long. The 6" high plexiglass will go in the slot, and then I'm going to put, like I said before, I'm looking for 1x on top rail that'll encapsulate all the plywood, and then I'll cut the ends of the 1x. Now I wasn't sure what I want to do yet, so I kind of left them long. I wasn't sure I wanted to finish them. There you can see the 2.5" 22.5" angle cut to make the end post where the octagon cut is made on the plywood. Real simple thing to do. It's not a very difficult thing to do. And you'll see an up and coming where the 1x, you can see just at the top of the screen there's the 1x there. There it is. You'll see how I fasten these with what we used to call Robinson head screws. Way back in the 60s, 70s, when those screws came out with a square boss in it. We use those to secure our crown molding in high rises in the metal studs to the drywall. And it was a lot easier for the painters to putting them up. We didn't have pneumatic nails at that time, and to put can strips up the first and then nail it in was one of the old methods that we used, but this was a lot better. You pre-drill a hole and drill these Robinson head screws in there. And anyway, this shows more of the framing being done, and it's just about complete now. I'm going to end up cutting the side panels.
Okay, here's the tour of this modified bird feeder that I They've just completed as far as construction goes. It'll be, as I've said before, it'll be painted in place later, probably towards the spring. I've got some other projects I've got to do, and I'll probably have my my daughter, granddaughter, want to get involved with it. So it's going to be brightly colored. But this was the original bird feeder here. I've done a video on it. And instead of the big panels, it had just two 1-bys going up on each end. It's screwed in between the 4x6 rafters under my patio. As I said before, I wanted a bird feeder, but something under my patio so it would be protected from the weather and be less maintenance. But the problem was, like all others, and I've never seen quite like this, the seeds fly all over the place, and you either got a cleanup operation all the time you've got to really attend to, unless you want bugs all over your place, or in the ground, unless you're out in a farm or something, you got all these plants growing, weeds or whatever. So these are seeds, you know, they are a product of life and will reproduce. So, as I said, the intention was functional, not so much architectural beauty, concepts, whatever. I still want to be able to see the birds in action as I sit in my mezzanine with my coffee in the morning, what have you, or in the afternoon. That's why I've got the plexiglass all the way around, except for the back. I didn't see a need to put it back, and as you can see, I cut all the members. The data was still there for the plexiglass that was not going to go in here. It's just I just ran all the material. This is not something that was supposed to be, premium type grade design or architecture. It's just for functionality. So I ran on all the pieces, knowing I was going to put a panel back here. I wanted this open for a reason. As you can see, this back part of the trough is completely open. If you can see back in here, there we go. See if I can get in here. The birds go back in there when it's bad weather, and they huddle back in there. It gets them out of the wind. As you can see, if you can see the sides extend, and it's quite a protective area. I also added these little pieces here. You see that piece right there on the edge, on both edges. It wasn't there before. I added that because they perch up there, and they have something to grab onto. So the whole idea is, again, I made this size again for these top rails so that the birds could perch. These screws you see here are stainless steel. We called them Robertson head screws when I was working here years ago, 60s and 70s, when these screws came out. That's how we put our, we would screw our crown molding, oak molding, and these Robinson head screws came out. They weren't stainless steel at the time, but I don't know what to call them now, but it came in handy for this operation here. This is just a simple screw in the end. And again, it's all open, you know, it's nothing really exotic. Again, here's the splines that go all the way through the top. I didn't go in, there's a lot of ways to do it where you can stop it and have it concealed, but again, this is a wooden piece of furniture. This is a thing that I just wanted that would function. And when you're sitting down, you can't see this. It's up under the ceiling. So, a lot of this stuff is, you just won't see. Pencil marks all over it, but again, it'll be painted over. All I can say is that here's the inside, by the way. These two metal strips, a squirrel was able to get up there, and he was trying to get in. Look how his teeth went in here. I mean, that's amazing. That's his teeth. So I ended up putting two metal strips there, and they can't get in there now, as far as and they won't be able to even access this thing the way I'm going to set it up. So I put a whole sack of bird feed in here, okay, and with the back panel sloped, it gradually feeds into the trough here. All right. See, here's the trough. And I don't have, is it self-functioning? And I'll clean the panel up here. But it's self-maintenance. I feed one sack probably every several months. It goes for quite a while. So, anyways, it's a simple way of attending to it and all that. And I'm anxious to get it back up in place and watch my little babies go at it again. So, other than that, it's been a project I've been wanting to get to for quite a while, but I've had to do things in my wife's office. She's a bookkeeper and getting ready for taxes, and I did some more improvements in her office. So now I'm free. I got this done, and now my next project's in my office, and then my main target is here. You see that wall there? I'm going to put a wall-hung tool chest. Look at this bordel I have here. Bordel in French means mess. It is all over the place. Believe me, I do not like working like this. All this wood's going to go back in the shed that I'm going to build this spring. I've already got the base set, and just meant to put walls up. All this lumber, I want to keep lumber in my shop here. I mean, look at my Rubo bench. You can't hardly even see it. But it's been a real pleasure. I mean, it's been a real aid. So yeah, it's a mess. I'm showing you this now because it will not be this way forever. So with that, I'm making headway, and I'm sure glad that I got to this point. It's been a long time coming, really. And I can't wait to get this thing back in place. And other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you get something out of it. This is mainly, I did this with the full intention when I first built this thing for beginners. That's what my videos are for, how you can do something. And it's simple. It's not hard to do. Of course, you need a couple of machines, but don't let anything stop you. Think about it. And YouTube is a treasure of information in almost any subject you can think of. So with that, thank you very much. And as always, my email address is at the bottom. Any comments, one or another, pro or con, let me have it. I'm a big boy, I can take it. Other than that, thank you for watching. Have a good day. And remember, always work safe, have a good time in the shop, and don't use any putty. Okay? Okay, bye-bye. Well, as you can see, I've pretty much finished the reconstruction of my bird feeder. And what I'm doing now, as you saw on the other one, I'm cutting the slope of the roof. So as you can see, this is where it's going to go. Now I built this because my daughter is going to be helping me put this thing back up in place, and it's heavy, it's big, it's kind of awkward. So I thought of the way of getting the first one down is by building this apparatus up here, which is way out of the way. It goes in between these two 4x6s. And I built this right under the existing bird feeder at the time, so that when I remove that 3/4 piece at the bottom and add the new 3/4 piece of on it, it'll be pretty close to the same height. It really doesn't matter because the roof slopes and the two mounting panels slope with the roof, so it's just a matter of sliding to where everything meets. And if I want to, I can put wedges and get it up. But that's to remove it. And now to get it back, get the new one in place, I added this. I added these two 2x4s, and let me show you this. So much sunlight here. I lap jointed the construction of this here. Basically, I cut the angle at the top, made sure the top of the 2x was on the same plane as the top of the horizontal 1x4s on the 2x's on top, so it will slide right up on it. I waxed them. What I'll do is put a little piece here, just so when we get it up on it, it'll keep it from sliding off. I'm not sure it will, but we'll see at the time. Other than that, that's basically it. Okay, here we go. Showtime, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Now, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put it on top. Watch your step. Okay. All right. Now,
Success.
ladder.
No. Okay. Do something. Gosh.
Now you'll push it from here,
Okay.
and as soon as I take it, you come down here and get on this first step.
Okay.
Just make sure I don't come off the rails there or something.
Go to the left.
The left side. There you go. Hey,
Left.
left, left.
Left. Left. We did it!
So there it is. It's all in place. I threw some screws in there, and I'm just tickled pink that it's all done. I've been wanting to do this from almost from the outset. When I built the first one, I could tell there was a problem with the seeds all over the place. I should have known better, but I didn't think about it, and I had to wait like 2, maybe 3 years before I could get to this point and finish it. So I'm glad. And it pleases me. I know this is not for everyone, but I like it at my age, retired, what have you, in my 70s. I still enjoy woodworking, and I enjoy being able to do what I want to do because I have my home. It's not like an apartment or someplace I'm renting. I can do what I want with it, and it gives me pleasure. And since I had to put my dog down, Labrador, which is the hardest thing I ever had to do. And this kind of helps me out by feeding the animals, the squirrels, and feral cats, what have you. So with that, I hope you get a chance to get in the shop, make something. As always, have a good time in the shop. Work safe, and as always, don't use any putty. Make good cuts. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.